Albion Online is a sinking ship, guys. But what game should we jump ship to? As in, what game should we go play instead of Albion? Because Albion is dying, Albion's player counts are down, the game is in a terrible state, and the devs still refuse to tell us anything until January, where they're going to make a bunch of random, small copy-paste changes, and we won't even see those changes hit the game until late November of next year, probably, maybe. So, I have the best fitting game that we can go play, but before I tell you what that game is, I want to show you some charts, some numbers, and go over the data showing that this game is not as thriving as others may make you believe. Alright, so we have some charts to look at here, and let's start at the top left. We have a Steam chart data that shows, and we're looking at this box right here, and we are looking at player counts. So this, again, this is just Steam. Now, Steam is only a small fraction of the Albion's player count, okay? Steam and Epic and Xbox, and then, of course, the native client. Those are 4 different ways to connect and play Albion, with Steam being pretty accurate on the nose for the other 3. Now, you'll notice here that what happened was in July, I believe June and July was the Crucible event. A lot of new people came into the game. So these numbers here are the new people leaving. All right. But you can see that month after the 2-month kind of honeymoon period of the Crucible, we're losing anywhere from 3 to 1.5% of players, all right, per month, which is huge. Now, you may be thinking, oh, well, that's not a big deal, right? But again, remember, this is also... this is just Steam's numbers. This is not the native the native client, Epic, or Xbox, okay? We don't have those numbers, but we can assume that it's similar to Steam's numbers times 4, all right? So, another thing here in the chart is the Stillfront stock price. Stillfront, for those that don't know, is the company that owns Albion Online. They bought it, I think, around 2022, 2023. I forget when they bought it, but it's been on a nosedive ever since, and they just announced a new female CFO in the leadership position, and a lot of people sold their stock, and yeah, that's just, it's down here. It's not recovering. It's never going back to where it was. Remember, I think COVID happened around this time or something, like this time, so like most game companies went up during COVID. This game company went down. That's just how it is. Sad day, right? So, we have active users within the last 30 days by country. Now, this is relevant to our English speaking. We have China #1, and then these other countries, all right? And this may not be entirely accurate, but this is, you know, what I can find on Google. Now, we have interest over time, all right? Now, this is from early 2020. And again, right here, the data is not accurate per Google. But especially here, it's not accurate at all, I would say, because like it went free to play around here, so the interest should have spiked, but whatever. But you'll notice that when it is accurate, all right, so we had a big peak here in 2023. This was Albion Asia. That peak is Albion Asia, by the way, because this is worldwide interest over time, all right? And then we had Albion Europe, I think maybe around here. I'm not really sure, but... you can see that the game has kind of not really done much. It keeps going up and down. It's kind of in a, like, up, down, up, down, up, down. Big ups there. This was the Crucible, by the way. That's the Crucible. I think this was just a major patch. So, coming next year, hey, look, major patch. And then 1 month later, back down it goes after everyone gets bored of the patch, okay? So, yeah. And then I believe that was the faction update patch, and we're already back down again because factions or whatever. They actually nerfed factions, so again, we're in the dumps right now. We are in the dumps for interest over time. All right, next up, we have, this was cool, player base overlap percent. What are the 2 main games that Albion people play on Steam other than Albion? They play Path of Exile and Black Desert Online. So, notice how all the Crucible streamers were Path of Exile people, and there were some Black Desert streamers as well? Here we go. Now, this is reviews, and the English language was left out. That's like 20-something percent, but this is from 2017 till now. Number 1 being Russia, number 2 being Portuguese, and then Spanish, and then Chinese, Polish, and then Turkish. All right. And by the way, Platinoa is Polish, I believe. Just in case you were wondering, that's Deep Fried Values on Reddit. Good job, by the way, Platinoa. You're literally making FanCanth seethe, and I love it. All right. So we have some annual statistics. Now, this is more YouTube data here. This is not so much game data. Now, I want to talk about this. 2023, again, this was Albion Asia. All right, so Albion Asia peaked at 64,200 Albion Online videos, which is 28% of all the videos. And this is the watch duration, 2,863 days worth of Albion videos to enjoy. Then you can see the honeymoon period, and we have Albion Europe in 2024. And look at the difference between 2024 and 2025. And I don't really know too much of how accurate these statistics are. This was a website made by a guy I knew from a StarCraft forum many years ago, so I don't know. Surely it's not this bad, but I don't think this number is accurate, so we're going to ignore that. But, I mean, 30,000 videos, right? So it'd be somewhere maybe around these numbers, I would hope. But at the same time, remember, brain rot happened in late 2024. Brain rot happened, and Albion Online is dominated by YouTube Shorts, and that's why the duration might be only 9 days worth of footage, okay? Instead of 2,863. This also could be live stream data. If a lot of people live streamed, and live streams are generally pretty long on YouTube, that could also affect the data. But yeah, you could see it's just like, it's so low here. It's so freaking low, right? And even you had streamers on Twitch complain that the pay just like went way down for streaming. Now, again, this is YouTube data. This is not Twitch data. More YouTube data. I have 30-day statistics and 7-day statistics. You can see that views are down 50% from a week ago. And, you know, that's true across every Albion channel, even Shorts channels. And in 30 days, views are down 9%. Like, ugh. Now, December, I'm going to tell you right now, I have a lot of YouTube data, and for whatever reason, people don't really watch as much Albion in December. I don't know what it is with December. People are just busy, okay? All right, so we have a little bit more data here, and this is monthly average concurrent on Steam, minus 51% decline. 2025 monthly average high on Steam, minus 28% decline. All-time 24-hour peak, minus 67%. All right, monthly player estimate based on MMO population, which is probably just completely wrong. Who knows? Minus 29%, and then recent momentum in 30 days, minus 16.9, also based on MMO population. Now, this is the part that I want to get here. Okay, Albion Online's all-time player peak was in April of 24. Again, according to this chart. All right, Albion recent 24-hour peak is December 19th. Which is, it's because it's a fame week, okay? And then we have Albion in December average, and now we have this, Ashes of Creation, all right? And I'm excited to show you guys this, because this is the replacement game. Look at this. Ashes launched on Steam on December 11th. Here's the data from December 14th. Look at it. December 14th launch for a game that's in alpha. Ashes of Creation is in Alpha Stage 3. This game isn't even in beta yet. It's not even technically early access, though you can early access it on Steam right now. Is beating the all-time peak by a... Look at this. Like, look at this. This is like a chunk. This is a whole chunk. How many chunks of this can I put into it? Like, we got like one... All right, look at that. It's beating it by... Let's you know, do some preschool math here. It looks like about 20% or so, right? Maybe 20 to 30%. Pretty neat, huh? Anyway, so Ashes of Creation. Let's talk about that. Now, I just want to point out, I'm still going to make Albion videos, though guides and really helpful stuff will pretty much be moving to members only at this point, just because for me to make a really big, extensive guide on how to make money, fame farm, all that good stuff, the channel members are what's keeping me alive. The pay is no longer worth making videos on Albion. It's just not. I've always made pennies, and it wasn't about the money. It was more about just being, you know, the one shining beacon in the community, but there is no community anymore, at least not for English speakers. And so the 10 people that whinge about me on Reddit every day, well, you know, they're just going to continue whinging anyway. This game company, Albion, they're never going to put me in the partner program. They're never going to, you know, take me in from the rainy, cold nights and put me into the fold and put me to work, have me sign an NDA or whatever it is they do with the content creators. I haven't made a single friend, content creator or otherwise, playing this game for the past 7 years. And frankly, there's nothing left for me to do. There's nothing for me to spit. There's nothing for me to buy in the game. I have billions of silver. The game is essentially dead. Every and all content for solo players has been mostly nerfed to either be pointless to do or redundant to do. Like, there's no reason to level up. There's no reason to max out your crafting levels when you can just use focus alts. There's so many things that that you can just do otherwise now that makes playing the game pretty pointless and unfun anyway. Yeah, I have 11 days left of premium and I'm dreading it. That's 11 hours of tending to farms to what? Raise my crop growing level a little bit that I'm not going to use after that. So, but anyway, I wanted to talk to you about the replacement game, Ashes of Creation. All right, let's start with the music between the games. I think that music is a very important thing in video games. Now, think back to some of your favorite console single-player games. Growing up as a child, what were games that stick with you, that are memorable? Video games that, even as an adult, or I don't know how old you are or how long you've been alive, but think back to when you were a child. Yeah, like I played regular Mario for the Nintendo, you know, and all that stuff, but games that really, like, stick out. I think, like, Final Fantasy VII. That was one of the first games that, like, had me, like, stunned. Visually, at the time, it was a masterpiece. Metal Gear Solid, its presentation was a masterpiece. And I think that music had a lot to do with that. Imagine if Metal Gear Solid or Final Fantasy VII had really crappy music. Now, Albion Online, I don't hate the music. And I know I don't have the volume all the way up for you guys. I could, let's see, game settings. Yeah, we can go to audio. We can crank the music up. The music's not bad. It's not the most catchiest, but it's okay. You know, I'd give it a B+. I'd give it like an 85 out of 100, all right? It's not bad. It's not terrible, right? And, you know, different, you know, town themes or whatever. There's not a whole lot of music to it, and it doesn't really scream cinematic masterpiece, right? Anyway, I'm going to turn that back down now so I can hear gankers whenever I'm out in the unsafe zones. But let's compare. Let me just show you the experience of what it's like to launch into Ashes of Creation. Alright, let's see if I can get the game capture working here. Let's see. Go ahead and it's gonna be, yeah, it's gotta load in. Alright, so this is what it's like to launch Ashes of Creation. It's gotta load the shaders. But I want you to listen to the music and look at just the title screen, alright? Alright, it's still gotta load. It is a modern game. You won't play this on your phone, I'm sorry, phone users. Alright, comes with a warning about epilepsy and stuff or whatever. Didn't read. But just listen and watch the presentation. This screen I'm about to show you, it has almost always been different when I loaded it in. I know it won't be, but just watch, just listen, just get a feel. Oh, I accidentally hit a button. I ruined it. Let's go back. Alright, well, that's enough for listening to the music, right? Anyway, how do you feel? How do you feel about this? This is just the title screen. This is just the title screen. And I'm skipping the climax, the big rise and the big whatever they call it, the crescendo. I don't know music. So good. It's very nice. It's very modern. I haven't played a modern game in so long, guys. It's starving. All right. Well, I'm not just gonna sit here and play the full soundtrack for you. Well, I can't stop. There we go. Now it ended. Alright, so let's talk about the character creation and just graphics in general. Now, Albion obviously runs on a phone. It's an old-ass game. It's, you know, I don't mind low polygon graphics like this. However, the majority of people that play video games, especially ones that want to play a modern social game where they're going to be investing years of their life into it, they just aren't attracted to this art style. Like, it's so hard to get people to play this game that are used to World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV, and essentially having an art style like this, you're gonna have a very niche and broke audience. I know, I'm sorry. Now, there's one thing that I do really want to give props to Albion Online, is that they still have male and female, alright, and not body type 1 and 2. So, again, big thanks to Albion for that. I do give them props. And, you know, you can... There's not a whole lot of character customization. You can make your character look different, whatever. So, you know, you go with the male character. You can have different little faces here. But you can't really, like, stretch out the cheekbones and craft someone that looks like a celebrity. Or you can't make, like, Asmongold or Giga Chad or anything. Which basically the same people. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, change the skin tone, of course. You can change the hairstyle. I think this is kind of how I made the Soul Benji character. But anyway, yeah, you can get different beards, colored beards, different underwear, and your tunic, you can change the color of that. And you can, the cool thing, too, with Albion's character creator is you can change your character's looks at any freaking time. Let's just hit random a bunch. Woo! Anyway. Hey, that's a cool looking dude, right? Like, I would play that character. But, again, not a bad character creator. Alright, so let's talk about the character creator in Ashes. Alright, cool. Ooh, and the music transitions to something more soft. This is something Baldur's Gate did really well. Right, it's kind of the same theme. It's just slower, it's more somber, whatever. So, first off, one thing that Albion does not have is there's no different playable races. Everyone is just human. Boring. Right, let me show off the races in Ashes. All right, you have I don't know if I'm pronouncing these right. I have no idea how you're supposed to say them. I think this is Dunir, and this is like a dwarf. All right, you got a male dwarf. Look at how jacked he is. That is a short king, right? Dwarves are neat, dude. If you ever watch Lord of the Rings, dwarves they're freaking cool. But you can be a femme dwarf, and yes, they can have beards. Right, and every time I click and look, it's male and female, by the way. I just want to give credit to Ashes for that, not body type 1 and 2, male and female. Ashes of Creation is American-made in California, I believe, actually. So yes, this is an American video game, which is very rare these days. It's very expensive for Americans to hire developers. But anyway, male and female, so that's a big win, right? Big win. It really is in 2025. But yeah, then you have Nikua, which is just like a different, eviler-looking dwarf, I guess. I don't know. I mean, there's a whole bunch of lore here on the right. I haven't read it. But yeah, you can be female dwarf. Okay, and then we have Empyrean, which is elves. Ooh la la, yes, give me. Who doesn't like an elf, right? Elves are basically supermodels. Now, they're a little skinny. They got those lanky arms. It's the Asmongold build. But, I mean, come on, guys. I mean, it's not a big booba Korean game, okay? I'll tell you that right now. But we also have the Pyrai? I don't know. But these are like more woodland elves. All right, not as attractive, but interesting. They got the tree antlers, I guess. Pretty cool, right? And then you have the Kalar, which is humans, pretty standard humans. Look at that, absolute gorgeous. I can't zoom in because I haven't switched appearance yet, but we have, I don't know about the green hair, but here, let's get some more randoms. Oh, look at that. That guy's cool looking. despite the tattoos, but still. All right, here we go. That is, play female if you want. All right, we got the Valoon, which is just another style of human, a little more sinister looking, I guess. I don't know if that's just a shorter human, I suppose. Then you have Renkai, and this is an orc. Obviously, you got the female femme orc. You want to be a girl orc, you know? Would you guys? Would you? I don't know. But hell yeah, bro. Come on, there's different colors. I know you can be green. Come on, give me a different colored male here. There we go. We got a green one. Heck yeah, dude. Green orc. Brings me back to the World of Warcraft days. And then you have the Vec, which I don't know what this is, but I would say it looks like a World of Warcraft troll. They're pretty cool looking. They very, very. Look at the spine. It's like a reverse rib cage. I don't know. It's neat looking though. Look at that. It's got the little curvature there. This dude looks freaking cool. I have not played this race yet, so I think I'll play this character. But yeah, they got the teeth and everything. Let's look at the female. I don't know, man. It's probably not the best looking one. Maybe let's cycle through a few more characters here. Now we got purple. Hey, you can be purple. That's neat. But yeah, I don't know about Ooh, that's bright blue. We're looking at Avatar, the movie, not the Airbender one. Okay, now, so I want to talk about archetypes, all right, or classes. Let me move this down. We need to see my character name right now. All right, so archetypes. All right, now unlike in Albion Online where you just your class is what you wear, it kind of is in this game too, and I'll explain in a bit. But you have archetypes. So let's start from the top. You have the Bard, which plays music. It's a buffer, debuffer, healer kind of character, AoE spells. Cleric. Now, unlike traditional clerics that just heal, I feel like this plays a little bit more like a World of Warcraft paladin, especially around level 6 to level 8. I haven't leveled up too much, but it's fun to play. I don't know how they did it. They made a healer fun to play, okay? And powerful, I just want to explain that all of these classes are powerful. You feel powerful when you play them. I know it's hard to explain in words, but maybe I could show off what I mean here. All right, but yeah, the Cleric, this is clearly a healer class. You can revive the dead, support them, and, top up their health. But you can also solo. Steven Sheriff, which is the CEO, the main guy that's making the game, he wanted to absolutely make sure that if you played a healer class, you could solo. And I just this morning I leveled up a cleric just to see if he was right, and oh man, I could definitely solo with this class. It gets strong. Fighter. Now a lot of people think fighter is boring. They think fighter, oh, it's just a guy with a big sword, a big axe. Yeah, it is. And this game makes it fun. It makes it so fighter is fun to play, all right? You get in there and you tear people up. This class rocks. This might be my favorite class so far that I've played. Then you have mage. You know what a mage is. They cast spells. They cast fire, lightning, ice, arcane magics. Ooh, we're a wizard, Harry. You know what a mage is. I don't have to explain what a mage is, okay? Ranger. All right, I have not played the ranger yet, so I can't really talk about them, but they can mark enemy. They're an archer class, all right? But it also, maybe more so, they have some melee too and mobility. Again, I haven't played them yet. I can't talk. Now, rogue. Rogue has been my favorite archetype character class in all of MMORPG history. For those that have been watching my channel since the beginning of Swole Benji, I played a rogue in World of Warcraft Classic. It's my favorite class. It's the most fun class. I love it. And this game does rogue very generously, very well. They gave rogue more mobility, more burst, and more utility than World of Warcraft. So, playing a rogue, while you can't AoE farm like some of the other classes, you can kill one target really, really quickly. And I'm sure when you leveled up you can AoE farm, but I haven't gotten that far in the game yet to really experience that. But I might main rogue again. I don't know, though. I don't know. Now, Summoner. Summoner is a pet class. Think of like a hunter from World of Warcraft, but I haven't seen too many of these running around the open world. I don't know anything about them. I haven't played them yet. Then you have the tank. Now, this is the first character I tried out, and I've only been playing about 20 hours, okay? But, you actually feel tanky as a tank. You feel like you can take way more hits than anyone else in the freaking game, and you deal good AoE damage. You have so many different options to peel enemies off of other players, and it's solo viable, because that's all I've done is solo stuff so far. But yeah, we're on the character creator right now. Let's talk about appearance. We have like presets. You can change your body shape, so you can be taller, you can be shorter. I want to be tall, and I want to weigh more, or you can weigh less. Whatever. Let's weigh more. Let's make him a beefcake, right? Big tall boy. And then you can change hairstyle, and you can change hair length. Look, I mean, this is just the ponytail. Oh, you can go bald, be a bald man. All right, what do we got? Mohawk. Woo! You can make the big mohawk, little mohawk. What do we got here? Not a lot of hairstyles yet. Remember, I just want you to remember, this is an alpha. This is an alpha, okay? So, don't be like, only 4 hairstyles, blah. You can get facial hair, you can get a beard, you can get your beard going. And beard length, woo, big beard, little beard, right? Cheek hair, you can get some cheek hair. I don't know, doesn't really seem to do. Mustache style, whatever. We got face, you can change the eyes, ears, mouth, nose. You can get details, you can even change the color of your nails. So we can have like, I don't know if it's working on this. It might not be working on this character. Oh, yeah, there we go. Red nails like a demon, if you want. I don't know. You can do a lot of cool stuff. Okay, that's a butt cheek. didn't want to zoom in there, just right. Okay, so sculpt. Check this out. This is again probably still work in progress. You can pick individual body parts, and you can like make them bigger or smaller. So let's go for the bicep, and you can kind of see me stretch it a bit. You can see it pumping, right? But I don't know. I think it's still work in progress. I'm not sure. Starting region. All right. So every freaking guide on YouTube has, or every YouTuber rather, they've all made guides about this starting zone. But this one is the new one. It says the anvils are still a work in progress. Ooh, right? I like this starting zone so much better. It's a dwarven mountain, all right? And it's just a better starting zone. I'm a guide maker. I'm a guide creator. And I'm telling you, this zone is way more efficient than this one. There's more quests to do in this one. Yes, this game has quests. It is a sandbox, but there are quests. Not much because it's still alpha. But here's the thing that also differentiates your character, allegedly. According to the wiki, I'm only going by what the wiki says, and it could be wrong, but depending on which background you choose, is you don't have like a racial passive like other games, like in World of Warcraft. If you play undead, you can become immune to fear and breathe underwater longer, right? Or stay underwater, I guess. But in Ashes, your background is based around your passives, which aren't in the game, is not yet, but it will be at some point. Again, this is an alpha. It's not even a beta, not even an early access. Anyway. And see, the music's still hitting there, right? Anyway, let's go to some of the backgrounds. You have like, and it changes based on your race. It changes based on your starter zone and your archetype. Okay. And again, right now it doesn't matter. I'm just trying out the different classes. I didn't want to be a tank. I wanted to be. What did I want to be? What did I want to try out? Try out ranger. You'll be a ranger, I guess, huh? Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right. Maybe I can do rogue again and practice my rogue start. I'll just pick this as my background character, and let's get the text back up here. Alright, and then I'll be testing ranger. That'll be my name, because Soul Binge is taken. Alright, very, very cool stuff, right? Oh, and here is the character select screen. We got like a little squirrel creature kind of just chilling. But like, we have an orc here. This is some basic starter gear. We've got the dwarf character here. Look at him, he's ready to freaking rumble. We got a mage character. I think this is a human character. I don't think I made any elf characters. Or this might be an elf, but I have the helmet on. I don't know. Got a cleric. He's over here chilling. Again, they're all just kind of chilling. And now we have the ranger character. So he's going to step up, and we'll get him started. There might be a queue, so I'll skip that. Nope, no queue. Very cool. No wait. There's a bunch of reviewers like, oh, there's a queue, but I've never had a queue, bro. Alright, so I'm going to talk about the gameplay, and if you've never played a game like this, also, I just want to mention that my frame rate is a little low, and that might affect this recording and the smoothness of the video. I'm showing off the game at high graphics, and my computer is about 5 years old, so I run 60 FPS outdoors and in less cluttered areas, but the starter zone is a bit cluttered. So I'm going to talk about the combat. If you've ever played World of Warcraft, if you played New World, if you played Arc Age, it takes the best things from all three of those games, and that's the combat system. So real quick, I just want to, here, let's swap to the spear. We got a little spear here, a little starter weapon. And it has action combat, so if I want to attack in front of me, I can attack. I can stab with this spear here, right? I can just attack what's in front of me. Or, if I don't want to do that, I can just tab target to an enemy and auto-attack it, like you could in World of Warcraft, okay? Or Arc Age. So you can play however you want, really. It's got abilities. You push your button on your keyboard, you cast your ability. This ranger character, I've never played a ranger, but he has a focus resource bar, which is here on the top left. And if I want to change my UI, I can just change it if I want to, like this. I can drag and move stuff around, just like you can in Albion. But, yeah. Now, there's a few other things, too. I can sprint, so I can sprint and run faster, and that uses my stamina. Also, I can do a combat roll, like this, or like a dodge, which I need more stamina, but I can do like a dodge. So it's got, it's kind of got that Elden Ring Dark Souls feel to it. And yes, when you do a dodge roll, you have one free evasion. It basically, in the middle of your dodge roll, your evasion is boosted to 100% for the first hit. And once you talent up your dodge roll all the way, you then get a 100% evasion for the entirety of your dodge roll and not just the first hit. I don't know. There's a lot of gameplay mechanics. There's a whole lot of mechanics. This game is very, very, it's very complex. It's very complex, all right? Let me just talk about it, all right? So one of my favorite things for Albion, the reason I started playing Albion was so I could chop trees. Well, obviously you can do that in Ashes. You can mine, you can chop trees, you can pick herbs, or, you know, like, you know how in Albion you would pick cotton, you would pick flax, all that stuff? Same thing, except, you know, in Ashes, it's, you know, flowers and plants as well. You can fish, and you can hunt. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff. That's kind of like skinning in Albion, but not really. There's so many different crafting. You have weaponsmithing, carpentry, which is like bows, boats, boxes, and caravans, okay? Arcane engineering, this is magic stuff, books, mage equipment, a whole bunch of other things. You can make a radar for your ship. Yes, you can build a ship and go sailing. You can't do that in Albion. Armor smithing, leatherworking, tailoring, jewelry. That's rings and amulets and stuff. Scribe. This is like scrolls that boost your XP. Everyone's going to want those, right? Might be something to, you know, spec into, Now, you have gathering. You have, again, I already went over gathering. You have processing. This is like refining and metalworking, stonemasonry, weaving, tanning, lumber milling, farming. That's right, you can grow crops. Animal husbandry. You can breed mounts, just like in Albion. You can breed horses and Pride Strider. This is, I guess, would be like a Swiftclaw. In this game, a Swiftclaw is a raptor, not a cat. Okay. You have alchemy, that's potions. Cooking, you know, we always go cooking in every game we play. And then other, which is nothing there yet. But yeah, that's essentially the gathering professions, right? But one other thing I want to talk about real quick is, you know how I got to pick a character class, and right now I picked the Ranger? Well, at level 25, you get to pick a secondary archetype. And let me show you what those are. Alright, so this is a little cluster, but this is the best way to explain it. So, if you start with a bard, alright, and then you subclass into a mage, you're now a magician. If you are a bard, and you subclass also into a bard, you're a minstrel, which is like a better bard. If you're a bard and a tank, you're a siren, okay? So you have song warden, song caller, soul weaver, tellsword, and trickster. For the cleric, you have apostle, high priest, oracle, protector, scryer, shadow disciple, shaman, and templar. For the fighter, you have Blade Caller, Blade Dancer, Dreadnought, High Sword, Hunter, Shadow Blade, Spell Sword, and Weapon Master. Oh man, I bet Weapon Master is crazy good. Before I continue, if you're an anime fan, if you're an anime watcher, like these subclasses, I get the feeling like, you know how like if you watch an anime about a master swordsman, how good they are with swords, I feel like the Weapon Master, which is just being a fighter twice, would give you that kind of power in a fight, right? But being something like a hunter, which is a fighter and a ranger, would make you really, really good at range and really good at melee, because fighters are really good at melee. They're already really good. But to also be a ranger, which I've yet to play, I'm going to try it out now. You combine both classes, so not only you have the archery abilities and skills, but you can also fight up close. That sounds crazy good. For the mage archetype, you have Acolyte, which would be like a healing mage. You can, you know, freeze people in place and then top yourself up, or whatever, right? Arch-wizard, come on now. Who doesn't want to be an arch-wizard? If you imagine you're in a PvP zone, and I'll talk about PvP in a minute, but you're in a PvP zone and you come up against a freaking arch-wizard, oh man, you're gonna be shitting bricks. Battle mage. Look at that. Battle mage. That would be like, you ever seen that anime Reincarnated as a Sword? That's like a battle mage. That is a swordsman that casts spells, alright? Think of it like that, okay? A shadowcaster, ooh, a stealthy mage. Ooh, people like that, right? You go invisible and fireball someone, oh la la, right? Sorcerer, right? Spell hunter, spellstone, and warlock. I mean, who doesn't want to be a warlock? That is a magical summoner, okay? That's summoning, like, demons and doing curses and stuff. You know what a warlock is from World of Warcraft. I hope you know what a warlock is. Alright, so here's the ranger classes. You got Bowsinger, Falconer, Hawkeye, Scion, Scout. Scout doesn't really seem all that impressive to me. Rangers already have stealth, and when you're a ranger rogue, you just have better stealth. I feel like they should change that to something else, right? Sentinel, Soul Bowl, and Strider, which, yeah, I don't know. I haven't played a ranger, so I'm not really hype about these, but I don't know, maybe someone out there is like a bow guy and they like this stuff. Now we have the rogue classes. Assassin, obviously, yeah. If an assassin is trying to kill you, you're dead, probably, maybe. I don't know anything about these classes. Charlatan, all right. Cultist, all right. You got Duelist. I mean, have you ever fought a duelist in New World? Ooh, man, tough fight. They always parry and they're really hard. They just steal a lot of damage. Night Spell. I don't know about the name for Predator. I don't know about that. Hey guys, what's your class? Predator. Uh-oh, he's here to meet a 15-year-old boy. Shadow Guardian. That sounds cool. I don't know how a rogue tank would work. I don't understand. I guess evasion. You'd be an evasion tank, right? You're dodging all the time. Shadow Lord, all right? Shadow Lord. What are we, the Lord of Shadow, that anime? What, Imminence and Shadow much? All right, so for the Summoner, you have Beastmaster. You could probably command bears and stuff, or tigers, I don't know. Brood Warden, all right? I'm not sure what that is. That kind of sounds like a spider, I'm not sure. Conjurer, right? You're just a double summoner. Maybe you could summon multiple creatures? I don't know. Enchanter, Necromancer, yes! What MMO since EverQuest has ever let you be a necromancer? I don't know a single MMO that has let you raise the dead. I mean, I'm sure there's some out there, but heck yeah, if you want to be a necromancer, here you go. Ashes of Creation. Everyone in Albion's been clamoring, I want a weapon that'll let me summon skeletons. Here you go. Just play Ashes. Just play Ashes of Creation, all right? Shadowmancer, Spellmancer, and Wild Blade. The tank classes, you have Argent, Guardian, Keeper, Knight. Now, I was thinking, it's like, out of all the classes, I think I would just be a Knight. Knights are always good in most games, and it's a basic class, nothing too flashy. You're a tank, but you can also kick a lot of ass in combat, right? Like, that sounds like that's a really hard class to beat. Knight. Nightshade, Paladin. Oh, dude, there's gonna be so many Paladins. Alright, you're a tank that can heal itself. What more could you ever want? Spell Shield and Warden, alright? Now, they have gone on record and said that if you want to be like an in-game raid tank for the big raids and the hardest dungeons in the game, you're going to have to roll Guardian. So yeah, I understand that, you know, locking your character into these classes might not be the most fun thing, that, oh, you gotta re-roll, time to make a new character. But, you know, if you were to say, like, be a Night Shield, which is a tank rogue, I don't know how that would work. I mean, you're you're tanky but evasive? Who knows? Yeah, you probably won't get to lead many dungeon raids compared to a Guardian. I understand that. So, you kind of have to make your choice matter, but, you know, there's so much to do in this game. You don't have to just... It's not like World of Warcraft, where you have to raid or you have to do dungeons. There's so much other things to do, so you would pick your class according to what you like to do, right? Alright, so we have 64 different class combinations, which sounds like an overwhelmingly stupid amount to ever balance, but it's about having fun. It's not about balance. You can balance it as you go. It is what it is. But let's continue. It's not just about what class you are, but what weapons you use, because weapons have passives and different combos and kind of abilities, kind of, sort of. There are 25, as far as I know. I could be wrong. I've only played this game for like a couple days now. 25 different weapons and offhands. Alright? And these items can be physical-based or magic-based. So yes, you can have a magic wand that deals physical damage, and you could use it as a rogue. Yes, you could be a rogue that uses a wand. I know, weird, right? Or they could be magic-based, alright? And clearly, if you play a physical class, like a fighter, you wouldn't want your weapons to be magic-based, but if you were like a fighter mage, which I forget the name of what that would be, you might want to mix physical or magic-based weaponry, and with different passives and abilities, like there's a spell book you can have that catches things on fire, right? Or you can maybe make it where it staggers the enemy when you hit them instead. It's kind of like Albion, where you choose a different passive on them. I can kind of show you. Like, right now I have a rusty spear, and, like, this has, like, rhythmic swings, crushing blows, inner fire. You know, to start with, we can do bleed, we can do snare, or wounded. Kind of like how in Albion, when you have a spear, you could slow the enemy with it, with a passive. Or, like, with an axe in Albion, you can make an enemy bleed. Well, you can kind of choose that, right? And you can respec it all you want. You're not, like, stuck with your choice. Anyway, let me go over the items. And you could swap between two weapons. So right now, my character started with a bow and a spear. So I have the spear, I swapped a bow, and again, I can do this in combat, right? I can use two different weapons in combat, okay? So anyway, here's the gear. You have axe, two-handed axe, short bow, longbow, club, dagger, dual daggers, orbs, sigils, hammers, lances, maces, two-handed mace, polearms, halberd, scepter, spear, two-handed spear, spellbook, stave, sword, two-handed sword, rapier, wand. I'm not going to say the word correctly because YouTube. Wand and shield. Now, I think your offhands don't have passives, but your weapons do. And so every single weapon has all of these different stats that you can learn as you level them up that either increase their damage, make them have a higher % chance to cause bleed, or do other effects, right? And I don't know what all the weapons do because I haven't played enough. But there are so many different combinations. Like, apparently, like, this spear can learn bullseye, and if I hover over it, it's like your finishers and deadly finishers can have a 25% bonus critical strike chance. So that's just a passive, right? But there's active ones too. Like, what does rhythmic swings do? I don't know. Crushing blow. 10% increased base damage and 10% increased critical damage. So, yeah, there's just a lot of things here. Oh, here we go. Deadly, extended finisher, bleed, snare, wound. So these are just upgrades, I guess. You also get things like accuracy bonuses on, like, weapon proficiency. There's a whole lot going on here, okay? There's a whole lot going on. So far, we have, what did I say? 25 different weapons, okay? And 64 different class combinations, and you could wear 2 different weapons at a time, alright? Generally, one ranged and one melee, so I don't know entirely all the combos of that, but let me ask an AI. Alright, so I don't know how accurate the AI math is, but I'm not going to do the math myself, but they said 1,440 different weapon setup combos times 64 different classes is 92,160 different variants of class weapon combinations. Alright, but it doesn't end there. We have so far, just from weapons and classes alone, that's 92,160, right? But unlike Albion, you have way more pieces of gear. You have cloth, leather, plate, just like Albion. But you have the head slot, shoulders, body, wrists, hands, 2 ring slots, capes, necklaces, 2 earrings, and belt, pants, and boots. You also have a bunch of different mounts that all do different things, just like in Albion. You have flying mounts, boats, aquatic mounts, things that you can, use in the water as well. But also you have gathering gear. You have the fishing pole, lures, nets, harpoons, your tree chopping axe, a saw, a tap, which is, I guess, to get like syrup or something, a pickaxe, drills, and pans if you want to pan for gold, I guess. A sickle with a scythe and shears. And there is an anime I'm watching about a gatherer, and he is trying to get a blacksmith to build him some shears. I don't know, a hunting bow, bait, and traps. Then you have your gathering shirt, your gathering undergarment, tool belt, and crowbar, which is to kind of steal people's packages in PvP. And yes, this game does not have full loot PvP, but it has semi-loot PvP. So when you down people, you're not losing your gear. You're losing your materials bag, which I'll talk about in a minute. With all of that said, I can guarantee you that this game has more build variety, more item variety than Albion does. So it's winning there. Also, the world is massive. Let me show you the world map. We're going to zoom out. And again, remember, this is an alpha. This is not all of the world. There's going to be way more stuff added, okay? So here I am. I'm in the snowy mountains at the very north of the world, okay? And if we ride down here through all of these zones, and it may not look so big here, but let me tell you. So from this is a starter zone, this little white patch right here. If you ride northwest on a mount all the way up here, running at 135% movement speed, it will take you 1 hour of real-life time to reach. These zones are massive. And let me just like zoom in over here. So I zoom in, and this is what it actually looks like, okay? And yeah, it's when you zoom out, it doesn't look so big, but when you zoom into an area, it is massive. Now, another thing too about the world I want to talk about is in Albion, you have static royal cities, and you got Bridgewatch, you got Fort Sterling, whatever. In Ashes, there are no royal cities. The only cities to exist are all player-made. That's right. So, like, right now, this is the Vagladim area, and I'm on a new server, so nothing's really set up yet, but, like, if I zoom into the map, someone's building a settlement here with, like, public works. There's some stuff that's being worked on, and the thing is, you don't have to be in someone's guild, you don't have to suck toes, you don't have to bend the knee. All you gotta do is hit level 10, and when you hit level 10, you can become a citizen of a town if you want. Citizenship. And by being a citizen, you live in that town, and you participate in its, politics, I guess. And, yeah, you could even run for mayor and be like, if you win the popularity vote, then you can run the town and set the taxes and tell everyone what buildings to build. And you could build your house and stuff. And so, the way the world works, one thing that a lot of people hate about the game, and that I hated it at first, I honestly hated this at first, there's no fast travel. So if I want to go from here all the way down to here, there is no mount, there is no airship, there is no flight path. However, once these towns get built up, once these cities get built up by the players, then they can, build teleport pads, build roads, build whatever it is that they need to kind of get travel going. And I have yet to play on a very established or old server, because I've only been playing a few days, and I'm playing on a fresh server. So that's, it's very bare bones right now. But another thing, too, like Albion, right? It's not like World of Warcraft where you just go to Stormwind and you have, like, blacksmiths and stuff. Yeah, you have some starting crafting benches in the starter zones. You do have that, okay? But if you want to get Tier 2 gear, Tier 3, Tier 4, etc., just like in Albion, the players have to have crafting stations at that tier to be able to craft that kind of gear. And unlike in Albion, where you jump from like Tier 4 to Tier 5 gear and you get like 100 HP and deal 20 more damage, in Ashes, Gear upgrades are massive. Leveling up is massive. The power difference between being level 4 and level 8 is a huge, massive jump. When you are level 4, something that is like one-on-one super dangerous at level 8, you can fight 10 of them. Like, you can fight 10 of them at the same time. And if you have higher tier gear, which I've just started to get into because, again, I'm a guide maker. I'm trying to figure out the best way to get the best weapons as early as possible. When you get those really good early upgrades, you become an absolute monster. You will have so much more health and deal so much more damage over just a gear upgrade. And right now, because it's alpha, the level cap is 25, alright? And after level 10, it is an adventure to level up, okay? I can level 1 to 8 in about 3 hours. That's my time. And people have done 1 to 10 in 3 hours that are like professional speedrunners, okay? I've only been playing a few days. I'll get there. But what I'm trying to tell you is that, like, after level 10, it's a grind. And who knows if that's how it'll be when the game launches. But you feel the character development. You get very, very strong with gear upgrades and level upgrades to the point where it's very adventurous. It makes you feel like you're in an isekai anime. It's great. It's not like Albion where you spend a month to get 100 specialization in a whole weapon line and oh wow, I deal 60 more damage and now I can maybe squeak out a win against someone that is slightly undergeared. Barely. No. In Ashes, your upgrades, your gear, your levels, they all feel very impactful, and you feel the growth of your character. Alright, so let me show off just a little bit of gameplay. Let's talk to the quest giver here, and I'm going to skip the dialogue. Oh, I got to pick one. Yeah, we're going to... Nope, I am misclicking. Yeah, we're going to go this route. Now, the cool thing about the starter zone is it splits the players. Like, I'm going to go this route, but other players might pick this route, and then they're going to end up on this side of the mountain and go to these towns, and I'm going to end up on this side of the mountain and go to these towns. And you could always, you know, ride around the mountain or ride through the mountain. You're not, like, barred from going either way. It's just, once you pick a quest path, you're kind of locked into that path for just a little while. But, let's switch to the bow, and since we are a ranger, what are our abilities? We have Salvo and Mark Prey. I also have this ability, Hunt of the Raven. Let's go ahead and cast that. And let's shoot some clay-born enemies. And you may be thinking, these enemies are ugly looking. Well, they're made of clay, right? So let's just do regular attacks. This is just regular shooting, okay? Let's switch to a melee weapon now and start stabbing them. Again, these are just auto attack. Oh, the guard killed them. Get some loot. There we go. Okay, yeah, the guard killed them. I got some XP for it, though, I think. I don't know. Let's get away. Like, these guys won't aggro unless I touch them because they're low level. They're level 1 mobs. They're not supposed to be threatening, right? Let's switch back to the bow, and let's attack this one over here with what is this? Mark Prey. Okay, we marked them. And let's cast Salvo. There we go. We're shooting. And again, another thing I forgot about the combat is you can block. Look at this, I'm blocking. Now, I don't have a shield, so I'm just blocking with my weapon, but it is what it is. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Also, I can salvo up close if I want to. I mean, that's good damage. But you'll notice, just like in Albion, the enemies have... Let me stop attacking. Stop attacking. So this guy, he's doing a regular attack, but now he's gonna charge up an attack. Clobbering swing. So I can... Okay, I failed the dodge roll, but just like in Albion, how the enemies have those big area of effect attacks, so do the enemies in Ashes. But, there's a cleric healer. Yeah, there's a cleric healing me. Cheers, lad. Hey, look, I can talk in the game. Wow, I can actually talk. Anyway, so where I was getting at is there are no damage markers on the ground yet. It's an alpha. I don't know if they'll add them. I don't know if they won't add them, but I hope they add them. But yeah, I have a quest right now. Let's kill 2 more of these guys. Go ahead and just start blasting. Why not? Whatever. And then we'll start stabbing. And let's dodge that. There we go. See, I dodged his big cleave swing. Not that I needed to. These are level 1 mobs. It's whatever. And this guy's just kind of like... I can see that he's targeting me right now. I don't know. He's just kind of doing his own thing. Also, these attacks cleave. You notice I'm attacking this guy. I'm going to face tank this. I don't care. And this enemy is getting also stabbed by the spear, just like in Albion, just like in Arcade, just like in you know, other games. All right, I just hit level 2. Let's go ahead and kill this dude. Whatever, loot him. All right, cool. And now we have a new ability that we can learn, right? And again, I've never played this class, so I don't. We got headshot, disengage, scatter shot, power shot. That sounds good. Let's go with power shot. And look, oh, I want to respec. Well, because it's an alpha, free respec. I can unlearn power shot and learn headshot instead. But let's just go with power shot and yeah, let's shoot a guy. All right, here's power shot. There we go. We're charging up. Ooh, big damage, right? And then we do salvo, and he's basically dead. Cool. And yeah. These things are statues. That's how they die. They are statues. That is not, oh, it's an alpha, their death animation is stupid. No. They're a statue. The enemies have death animations, okay? But these are statues. Don't think that they're an unrendered model. That's literally what they are. They turn to stone and die, okay? That's just how it is. Now, if you kill them with fire, you kill them with lightning or explosions, they do die differently based on how you killed them. Now, real quick, I want to cover what happens when you die in this game. So, these little orbs are like respawn points that you can attune to. So, it'll also let you respawn at the closest one of these if you've discovered it. But there's a few other things when you die, alright? So, let's say you're out gathering. Also, when you kill enemies, you get something called glint, and that's how you sell things for raw silver, or copper, or gold in this game. Right? It goes copper, silver, gold. 100 copper is 1 silver, 100 silver is 1 gold. You get the idea. Just like World of Warcraft. But what happens when you die, there's a few things. So, when you die, you drop 25% of your resources into an ash pile. When you die, you become a pile of ashes. Ashes of creation, right? You also lose 25% of your resources that you are carrying in your materials bags, okay? Right now, because I'm a new character, I don't have any resources or materials. But if you go out and, like, do a bunch of stone gathering or wood chopping, and then you die without banking it or selling the goods, you lose 25% of what you had, you drop 25% of what you had on the ground, and other players can loot this. However, it does make them a criminal for like 2 or 3 minutes or something, so anyone can attack them. It basically flags them for PvP, which you can also do. Like right now, I PvP force flagged. However, I'm in a noob zone, so no one can just run up and hit me, but if we both flag, I think we can hit each other. I'm not entirely sure how the PvP works yet. I've only been playing a few days, right? Oh, these are summoners. or that's a summoner. What is War Gnome here? That's a cleric. Okay, cool. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that, yeah, dying has a penalty. There's also what's called an experience debt. Now, I've only died a few times. I overpulled or I lagged and I got killed. And what happened was I owed a debt of experience of 2%. So right now, I have 235 experience points out of 3,700, or 6.4%. So if I died, this would be still at 6.4%, so I'm not going to level down, but I would need to earn 2% of that of experience to pay off the debt before I could continue leveling up, alright? So, yeah, if you die a bunch, it will slow down your leveling, absolutely, right? But, it's not so bad, and it also means you gotta be careful. You can't just, you know, die over and over and over and slam your face into the game until you, like, kill something and get its loot or whatever, right? Let's complete a quest there. This is just, oh yeah, this quest actually gave me a mount. Yes, you get, it's not like World of Warcraft where you gotta wait till level 40, alright? So we have a hammer ram, and mounts are similar in Albion where they do different things, but it's more similar to Arcade. If you've ever played Arcade, the mount system is pretty much the same. So again, I can summon the mount, I can unsummon the mount to make it go away. The mount has a life bar. The mount can be killed by players or enemies, and if your mount is killed, unlike an Albion that has a 20-second cooldown, your mount will have a 10-minute cooldown, alright? So yes, if I wanted to jump off a cliff on my mount and let it absorb the fall damage, I can do that. But then I can't ride it for 10 more minutes. But you can get multiple mounts and then summon a different mount while the other one is resurrecting, okay? And this game does not have carry weight, it just has bag slots. So you can have a bunch of mounts in your inventory just like in Arcade. You're not going to get over encumbered or overburdened. But for gathering and like this glint, this is how I convert it to money. You want bigger bag slots so you can carry more stuff. And these bags will fill up. After you grind for a while, your bags are going to fill up, and you're going to have to go vendor. You're going to have to go put stuff in storage. That's just how the game is. But we summon the mount, we mount up, and we can sprint with the mount, we can jump with the mount, we can jump off the mount and unsummon it at the same time, or I can leave the mount on the field. There's a lot of utility with the mounts, and better mounts do better things, but this is just a little starter basic mount to help you get around the game world. But mounts, yeah, they're pretty cool. They, again, it's just like ArcAge. It's not like World of Warcraft. It's similar to Albion, but it's more similar to ArcAge. Wait, back to skill abilities. So right now I have Power Shot as an ability, but I might want to try Scatter Shot because this is like an area of effect. But these spells have modifiers. So Scatter Shot deals 125% physical damage to everything in a cone area in front of you. So it's kind of like Q1 on the bow in Albion, right? But we have a modifier that has an additional charge, so you can cast it twice. This would be like having a Care Leon cape in Albion. But you can also change it to be a forward line attack instead that deals 250% damage. So instead of attacking in a cone shape, it's in a line shape, and it pierces enemies, right? Let's see. Yeah, it pierces through enemies, and it deals twice as much damage. But then you can have both. So you have an additional charge, and you deal 250% damage. So yeah, that would take 1, 2, 3 skill points, or 3 levels worth of skill points to put into. But if you want to do that, you absolutely can. Or you can have 3 different abilities, like Headshot, Disengage, and Scattershot. There's a bunch of different combinations with different skills, abilities, modifiers. And this also combines with your weapons, skills, abilities, modifiers. I want bleed on my weapons, so I'm gonna put bleed on them real quick, and wound on the bow. So there we go. We have wound, we have bleed, and we have power shot right now. Now, one cool thing is, well, Ashes is clearly a 3D game, right? Unlike in Albion, which is an over-the-top game. Verticality actually matters. So I want to show you an example, right? I'm on a mount. I'm gonna jump on a box here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to sprint, jump. Oh, I messed up. I already messed up. Let me try that again. Here, let's get on the box. I may not need the sprint. We're going to jump, dismount, grab the ledge, and hoist up here. So let's say I'm in a PvP situation, and there's a guy I want to gank down below. Well, as an archer, I can just do like a power shot and then a salvo or whatever. And, I could be shooting at a player who might be a melee character. And if he doesn't know how to climb up like a building like this, well, he's going to have to either run away or get shot and killed, right? Whereas in Albion, oh, someone's on a castle wall. I'll just do a melee forward cleave and it'll hit him anyway, through the sky, through the wall somehow. That's just how Albion is coded. Whereas in Ashes, you can be strategic and cunning and crafty with your PvP if you want to, right? And it's not against the rules or anything. It's like, oh, he shot me from above. That's bannable. No, it's not. It's not. You know how Albion has faction transports where you get a big haul of goods and you move it across a zone? Well, just like in ArcAge where you could transport boxes or crates, you can do the same thing here. So I have this big box on my back, and the game is teaching me how to, transport it across and turn it in for a quest. Whereas you would haul a box full of supplies that people could gank you and steal and crack open with a crowbar. If they catch you out and about. You'll notice right now that when I have this crate on me, I am no longer protected from PvP. My PvP protection is gone. The game doesn't tell you this, so you just have to kind of know this stuff. It's all systems from ArcAge, by the way. If you ever played ArcAge, it's the same thing. But you would take a crate of goods, like say a crate of lumber, and you would haul it across a zone to another town and turn it into an NPC, and you would get rewarded raw gold for it. And again, it's like a risk versus reward thing. Now, you wouldn't be doing it on foot, right? You would obviously be doing it on a mount. But a regular mount, let me go ahead and summon it. I have to unsummon and resummon it because I had it parked over there. Well, when I'm on this mount, while I can mount up on it, it's still slow because this is not a transport mount. You have to get a beast of burden mount. You can train horses to do this. You can train what looks like an anteater thing. I'm not really sure yet. I've only been playing a few days. But there are mounts where you can haul goods. You can also build a big ship and haul a whole bunch of goods to a harbor and then offload them all at once. But if pirates or someone else on a ship boards your ship and beats you up and kills you, they'll then take your ship take it to the harbor, and turn in your goods, right? There's a lot of risk and reward, so there is PvP. It's just not full loot. It's not like, oh no, I got killed and lost all my weapons and gear and armor and gloves and boots, like in Albion, so it is what it is. But this is just a little quest teaching us the game. We got another level up, and you know what? I don't want Power Shot anymore. I want Scatter Shot with multiple charges. So now we can try that out. Ooh, that's cool looking. Look at that. It shoots a big cone in front of us. I wonder how that works. But yeah, you know that little thing I just taught you where you get on the mount and you climb stuff? Well, there's little Easter eggs. Like, there's a hidden... This is a noob zone. There's a guy named the Raven Fox, right? And there's literally, like, there's invisible walls in the starter zone, but not in the rest of the game, okay? This is so new players don't get, like, trapped or anything. Well, there's no real visible way to get up there, right? But we can summon our mount. Maybe. Okay, I need to summon it down there, I guess. There we go, summon the mount, and then we will use the mount to get up here. And I feel like no one else that's, you know, trying the game out right now has shown this kind of thing off either, because they just haven't done it themselves. I'm not sure, but we're gonna dismount, jump up here, talk to the Raven Fox, and he's like, "You've got some skills. You'd make a good burglar. Not as good as me, but someone needs to steal Grandma's purse." What? I don't know who writes the dialogue, but yeah, it's essentially a way to vertically scale. And you know there's going to be secrets, there's going to be little methods and whatnot, but we just got an AoE ability, and this is a room full of pretty tough mobs right now. So let's try it out. Let's just shoot in front. Okay, yeah, that totally hit. I have another charge, and yeah, I didn't dodge that. But yeah, I can come back here later with you know, even more upgrades, and I can kill these guys even faster, right? Also, I don't know why I'm using a bow up close. There we go, right? So again, you can customize your character to farm whatever content you want to do. Now, obviously, because it's an alpha, I can respec for free, but I believe the plans for the game are, if you want to respec, you would have to travel across the world to, like, a trainer, and then pay them money to respec you, so you can't just be like, I want an AoE farm, okay, and now I want a PvP, You would have to commit to a spec, unless you want to pay a fee and travel across the world to undo it. And gear is so incredibly diverse. Like, we have like a reward here, a little reward chest, so we could choose like a cloth bracer that gives wisdom and magic accuracy. Also, it gives the bonus, if we have 5 pieces, we get light, which means magic defense 10%. Then we have Lost Bindings, which is dexterity and physical power, which I'm a ranger. That sounds about what I would want. Okay, that guy is kiting mobs, or he's about to die. Oh, if he dies, I'm going to loot his stuff, if he has anything. Oh no, he's a cleric. He's not dying. He's a full mana cleric. He is going to live. Anyway, let me get back to the rewards here. Then we have a heavy armor, which is dexterity and crit chance, right? So if I want to focus on defense and crit chance, I can, or less defense, or even my magic and physical defense with physical power. I want physical power. I'm going to go leather. All right, and we put that on, and then again, we got gloves here, physical power, dex. I think I want that. There we go. And this one is a chest piece, so very cool there. Disable defense. So this is, Constitution is like HP. Disable defense is like crowd control resistance, right? We have mentality there and maximum HP. I'm just gonna go with the medium armor the full way, so it's like full leather. And yeah, cool stuff. So by the way, I changed my skill to the skill shot, concentrated scatter shot. So if I just push the button, it does a scatter shot, which is pretty neat, right? But if I hold the button, look, I charge it up like this and shoot like it. I shoot it in a very concentrated line. What abilities in Albion let you hold an ability down to alter its casting? Nothing. There is no customization like this in Albion, right? And again, I'm just a level, what? I'm a level 3 character. Imagine I'm a level 10 character, a level 25 character, a level 50 character with multiple different job classes, like I'm a ranger and a mage, right? Imagine imbuing your bow with fireballs or something. I don't freaking know. The combinations and spell, you know, combos are endless. And also there's stamina abilities. So you have sprint abilities, dodge abilities, and block abilities. All the way up to, like, when you sprint ends, you get more stamina. When you dodge ends, you get more health. And when you block ends, you get more health. And when you sprint ends, you get more stamina. And when you dodge ends, you get more health. And when you block ends, you get more stamina. And when you dodge ends, you get more health. And when you sprint ends, you get more stamina. And when you dodge ends, you get more health. And when you sprint ends, you get more stamina. And when you dodge ends, you get more health. And when you sprint ends, you get more stamina. And when you dodge ends, you get more health. And when you sprint ends, you get more stamina. And when you dodge ends, you get more health. And when you sprint ends, you get more stamina. And when you dodge ends, you get more health. And when you sprint ends, you get more stamina. And when you dodge ends, you get more health. And when you sprint ends, you get more stamina. And when you dodge ends, you get more health. And when you sprint ends, you get more stamina. And when you dodge ends, you get more health. And when you sprint ends, you get more stamina. And You can sprint more out of combat, you can block more, you can block taking less stamina hits. You also increase your maximum stamina, your block mitigation by leveling this stuff up as well. So, again, there's just so much stuff to level up, right? It's crazy. Oh, and I also unlocked Camouflage, which is not as good of a stealth as rogues get, but I am now in stealth. I'm in Camouflage. And apparently doing an action will break me out, so if I just attack, boom, I'm out of stealth. And now I can't stealth again for a whole minute. But this means that, like, as a ranger, I can sit, like, on a hill, right, in a PvP zone. Like, I could sit here on a hill and be invisible and, like, invis-gank someone riding by on a transport. You know, kill their mount, and then they drop their crate, we have a little fight, and whoever wins gets the crate. And I could crowbar it open and take a percentage, or I can finish the transport and get the full reward, and, you know, without having to craft the materials or gather the materials, right? So there's just an infinite amount of different random happenstance possibilities. Everyone's like, oh, Albion Online, the PvP is so good. No, it isn't. Look, in this game, you're going to have like 30 different freaking abilities, all modified with different types of gear and weapons. And you may be thinking, oh, Soul Benji, there's just going to be a meta. Everyone's going to play Assassin or something, and blah, blah, blah. No. It's going to take years after the game fully releases to reach that point. Right now, the game is in alpha. You know what that means? That means for like 40-something bucks. Look, I have a link in the description of this video right now. Use that link. It is a referral link, and it'll take you to the page to buy the game. And I get a little bit of like fun money, not real money, but I get like money in the game to buy skins and stuff with. So it's nothing serious. And as far as I know, there's no pay to win. You can't put money into the game like in Albion and then get currency to buy overpowered gear. That's not how it works. The fun money that I get is purely for cosmetics and skins, okay, which I don't really care about. So use the referral link if you want, or just go to Steam and buy it there. It doesn't matter to me. But by getting into this game early and getting into this game now, you have all the time to learn it, so that when it does come out, you get to be on top of the world, ganking people, taking their trade packs, and having way more fun than if you wait for the game to be fully fleshed out. Another thing, too, that, again, this isn't supposed to be a guide, but, like, there's a little new player help thing, like first steps, that tell you to do things like reach level 5, sell glint to a vendor, and these give you little chest rewards. But I have novice combat, and perform dodges. I just did that. Perform guards during combat, and I unlocked this little chest here called a weapons chest. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open the weapons chest and get myself a better bow. We're going to get the long bow because we're a bow character. I could also... there's no spear here, but yeah, we're going to go for the bow. 171 physical power, right? So the bow I have on right now is 127 physical power. And just to show you the power difference, let's do a scatter shot on this guy. 57 damage, right? Let me go ahead and just kill him real quick. Alright, so we're going to swap the bow now to the stronger one. So now we have an upgrade. And yeah, these guys respawn pretty quick. So this time we'll deal 61 damage. Alright, now this is a small upgrade, right? That was, you know, it's still an upgrade, but a little tiny baby one. But imagine that instead of a bow with 171 physical power, that I have a bow with 1,400 physical power. So the way bows work, this is a long bow, so it's like a slow shooting, a heavy hitting bow, right? And it's gonna have way more physical attack power. But if I were to say do all of the crafting novice challenges here, and these would take a while, like craft rare gear, 5 pieces of equipment, raise crafting to apprentice, all these things would take a lot of time, right? But if I do that, I could get this reward chest and get a short bow called a Silver Glade short bow, which, again, this is just a starter reward for starting characters, okay? But this Silver Glade short bow, look at its attack power, 1,410, also plus 128 strength and 46 dex. This is like a tier 2 weapon in Albion, right? I'm wearing tier 1 starter gear. This would be like a tier 2 broadsword in terms of power, right? And you know, in Albion you go up to tier 8. In Ashes of Creation you go up to tier, I don't freaking know. There's no limit. I don't know if there is a limit, but yeah, this would be 10 times as much, almost 10 times as much damage as I'm doing now, plus the stat upgrades, and this bow shoots way faster than a longbow. So imagine if I got a Silver Glade longbow, this thing would be in the 2000s, right? It'd be like 20 times the amount of damage I'm doing now, right? But also as you level, your stats go up and your skills get stronger. So instead of hitting this one guy for 61 damage, I would be hitting for 600 damage. Now, obviously, by that point in the game, I wouldn't be fighting a level 2 enemy with 150 HP. I'd be fighting a level, 14 enemy with 4,500 HP or something. I'm not really sure how much HP they would have. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet. But what I'm trying to tell you is that the power scaling is really, really big. And the cool thing, too, is, yeah, here's what I love about MMORPGs. Let's say I get a strong-ass bow and a bunch of really good gear and a high-level character. Well, these Claiborne characters, they drop material. They drop crafting materials, right? They haven't dropped any for me yet because I'm just killing them one at a time. I'm killing them a little slow here. But, let's go ahead and shoot him. Oh, dude. He knocked me down before I actually got the shot off or whatever. So that's a bummer. But, yeah, you kind of have to play around their abilities sometimes. But I have characters that could pull this entire room of Claibornes. All of them. There's a lot here. There's a whole bunch of enemies here. Let me go into stealth and try to show you, right? Let's see. Oh, they're advertising their Twitch channel. That's the same thing like they do in Albion. But hey, it's an alpha. It's alright. But look at all these enemies. I have a character that's only level like 6. They can pull this entire room and blow them up in a few spells. And they drop multiple different types of crafting material to craft things. A guide I'm working on, you need 20 essences that these guys drop. Anvil essences. And these guys drop them. And this is where you would farm them. And a lot of people, they'll go out in the open world and they're like, I need anvil essences and I'm paying money. Well, if you want to do the farming... Oh, this guy saw me through stealth. Dang it, right? Well, I would come here and farm this and make a bunch of money. Or if I need to do the crafting... I can come back here with a high-level character, wipe the absolute floor with these guys, and get a bunch of crafting materials that it would take me forever to get as a low-level character. And that's what I love about games like this, is your character persists. It's not like in Fortnite where, oh, I got a legendary gun, I won the match, and now the next round I'm back to square zero. Right? You get to keep your power level. Alright? Very, very cool stuff. Whereas in Albion, what have they done? They have item power soft caps, where our power level, we worked for years to level up our characters in Albion, and now we can't even use them. They're nerfed in save zones. I'm not taking my good gear into a full loot zone. I'm never going to do that. And neither is 92% of the player base. So why continue to play a game that doesn't respect our time and continuously nerfs all of the effort we've put into the game over the years? I'm not. I'd rather play this. I'm only just playing Albion out of obligation to you guys, really. But once this game starts going more mainstream, we're making the switch. Come switch with me. I understand some of you don't have gaming PCs and you're on phones. Well, hey, man, go work at a grocery store for a year, and you'll have plenty of time. Get a job if you're old enough. Go save up some money for a gaming PC, and then when you have it, this game will probably still be in beta or early access or something. And, you'll get to learn it early, and when it fully releases, this is going to be the next generation World of Warcraft, right? Everyone's like, oh, World of Warcraft Classic Vanilla was the best gaming experience ever. Well, this game, that's going to be that experience for the next generation. You don't want to miss it, and because, unlike World of Warcraft, you can get in on this game early. So why wait? What are you waiting for? Albion's dead, the player numbers are down, no one speaks English anymore. It's time to play this. This is the new hot shit. This is the new cool game. So you click the link in the description, download it, and I'll see you there. And I'm going to be making a lot more videos for this game. I'm still going to make Albion videos. Just not as often and not as much. Okay, I pulled too many. It's time to run. Right? Look, I'm about to die here. So we're gonna mount up, and we're going to sprint away on our mount. And we're gonna exit combat, right? So again, learning how to move around in this game, very cool. It's just like an Albion. Oh, I'm about to die. Mount up, right? But anyway, guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed. This game is freaking cool as hell, even though it looks a little like I'm not showing off the full game right now. I'm just showing off just the bare bones. Oh, they're still on me. Crap. I'm still showing off the bare bones basics here, but Guys, I want you to play this. This is going to be the Albion killer. This is the replacement game. Alright, looks like I have dropped... Have I dropped combat? Hopefully. Maybe. Let's dismount and camouflage here. Unsummon the mount. Okay, yeah, we're definitely out of combat now. Anyway, that's all I got. Click the video on the right side of your screen. If you don't, then the next time you go grocery shopping, it's going to be like extra busy, and there will be half as many cashiers to check you out. And the self-checkouts won't be working, by the way. They'll be broken down.